Hello, I'm Jashikins, and welcome to another episode of Jash Reads. Tonight, we are continuing reading Animorphs number 4, The Message by K.A. Applegate. Hey, have a sandwich! It's salami! Look over there! Is that a jujube? Pizza, pizza! Part of the crust is one of those stuffed crusts. Fortunately, one thing we always have plenty of in the Wildlife Rehabilitation Center, also known as my barn, is seagulls. We acquired the seagull DNA. Then the four of us, with Tobias watching from the high rafters, morphed into the new bodies. I've been a bird before, an osprey, to be exact, one of the types of hawk. But gulls are different in some ways. For one thing, they're scavengers, not predators. So as we took wing and flew in a rush of white from the open hayloft, I noticed different things, felt different things. My seagull mind was not searching for mice or scurrying animals. It was much more open-minded. My seagull intelligence looked for anything that could even possibly be food. Fortunately, the gull brains were close enough to the other bird brains we'd all experienced that it was fairly easy to control them. We didn't waste a lot of time getting started. Although, once we did get started, everyone was constantly pointing out food. Hey, look! French fries on the ground! Whoa! That's half a Three Musketeers bar by that car! Ooh, ooh! Look at the dumpster behind that McDonald's! Sometimes you just have to accept the animal's basic mindset and go with it. There's the beach, Jake said as we flapped and soared and flapped some more. It's easier being an osprey in some ways, much less flapping. Once we were out over the water, we could at least stop scanning for food. Mostly. Hey, is that a bag of potato chips floating down there? We flew low, just a few dozen feet above the water. Not like hawks, who can ride the thermals up to the bellies of the clouds. But Tobias wasn't much higher than we were now. There are no thermals over water, and he was having to flap a lot to stay aloft. We flew on, skimming the choppy surface of the water. Hey, look, Rachel said, over to the left. Sleek, gray shapes sliced through the water, up, down, breaking the silvery barrier between sky and sea. It was a school of dolphins. You know, sometimes this is just so wonderful, Rachel said. I mean, we're flying. We're flying. And later, we'll be like them at home in the water. Yeah, just us and the sharks, Marco said darkly. Still, it is cool, Rachel said. There's a ship up ahead, Jake announced. You just now noticed it? Tobias laughed. Wow, seagull eyes aren't exactly great, are they? It's a container ship called Numar. It's from Monrovia. You want to know what color the captain's hair is? Show off, Jake grumbled. Hawk eyes are totally amazing. As long as it's sunny out, Tobias can read a book from like 3 blocks away. It was hard flying to catch up to the ship. It was moving fairly fast, and by the time we were close, I was exhausted. The ship was gigantic, painted a rusty blue with a deck longer than a football field. The superstructure was all crammed toward the back. That's where the crew would be, so we flew forward, hoping to find someplace private. The deck was stacked with containers, big steel boxes like trailers. Row after row of them lined the deck, and we could see hundreds more down in the hold. We settled in the narrow space between two rows of containers, far forward. It was like having walls all around us. Corrugated metal walls that went high over our heads. Tobias, how much time? Jake asked. Tobias twisted his head down to see the tiny watch strapped to his talon. It's been about an hour and a half. We decided to resume our human shapes. The space between the rows of containers was even narrower when we were fully human again. It's chilly out, I said. The steel deck was cold beneath my bare feet, and even though the sun was high in the sky, we were in shadow. Man, I swear this is the worst thing about morphine, Marco said. Can someone please figure out how to morph shoes? And maybe a sweater? Come on, Cassie, you're the morphing genius. I'm sick of these morphing outfits. But you look so cute in spandex, Rachel teased him. Plus, they aren't exactly fashionable. All I'm saying is uniforms. Something cool looking and warm. Warm would be nice. When winter comes, we are going to be some sad little Animorphs. I have a more important question, Rachel said. How do we know when we're there? You know, our destination. Jake made a who knows face. I figure this ship is going like, what, 20 miles per hour? Figure an hour, and that puts us 20 miles out, right? Rachel pointed a finger at her forehead and said, Jake's a total mathematical genius. 1 hour at 20 miles per hour. Right away, he figures out that's 20 miles. Jake laughed. That's about all the math I can do. Actually, we're moving about 18 miles per hour, Tobias said. We all just stared at him. I fly along the roads sometimes and watch the car speedometers, so I have a pretty good idea how fast I'm flying. When we were flying alongside the ship, I clocked it. Okay, 18 miles an hour, more or less, straight north, Marco considered. That would put us within a couple miles of where Cassie thinks we should go. I winced. Every time anyone said something about me deciding where to go or what to do, it made me nervous. I'd better head back, Tobias said regretfully. I don't want to try and fly 18 miles back without a rest, and if I stay on this ship, I'll end up in Singapore. Singapore? Rachel asked. Yeah, I read the captain's log as we were flying alongside. That's where they're heading. Tobias flew off, leaving us the little watch. It was extremely dull waiting for an hour, with nothing to do but try and guess what was in the big containers all around us. On the other hand, we knew what we had to do next would definitely not be boring. So basically, we were happy to just be bored for a while, huddling together to stay warm in the whipping ocean breeze. Okay, let me drink a little tea before I comment on the chapter. Oh yeah, that hits the spot. So, I live in Florida where I was, well, born and raised. And so I'm actually very opinionated on seagulls. I remember being like a little kid, and if you tossed the seagulls even a little bit of food, they wouldn't leave you alone. And you had to guard the food, making sure the seagulls could not get at it. So, again, I'm very opinionated on seagulls, and how this chapter does seagulls, I'm like, yeah, that is definitely seagulls. Those are definitely the monsters in the sky I remember. Yeah. So, do you want to talk about this chapter? If so, please comment below. But remember, no major spoilers. The thing is, I'm hoping people discover Animorphs through these videos, and if you've completed the series, you know there are some major spoilers, twists and turns that a new reader shouldn't be warned about. But if you do want to talk major spoilers with me, and you're watching this on the YouTube, link in the description to my Ask box on Tumblr. And if you're one of those people who has never read Animorphs before, but during my dramatic reading, you're like, hey, this sounds actually interesting, like it's something I might enjoy. If you're watching on the YouTubes, link in the description. Hang on. If you are watching on my blog, link under the video. And both links will take you to where you can buy your own awesome copy of Animorphs number 4, The Message by Kay Applegate. And if you watch this dramatic reading and you're like, hey, I would love it if Jash could consider reading of my own book or fan fiction. If you are watching on the YouTubes, link in the description. If you are watching on my blog, link up above. And with both places, you can, see the post where it will tell you what I do, what I don't do, and my prices. If you are watching this on the YouTubes, please like this video. Please subscribe to my YouTube channel. If you are watching on my blog and watching on the desktop version of my blog, go to the sidebar thingamajig and choose the follow by email option. Okay. Okay, real life segment. And yeah, I'm sorry, today was, I don't know, I meant to get these videos out sooner, and then that didn't end up working out. I'm watching a little walkthrough of the game We Happy Few. I saw a trailer for it, I think when it was first announced, and no one really knew what the fuck was going on with it. And I, for some reason, missed its initial release, so now I'm watching a little walkthrough. And I might watch another one or two because there's some options of how much of this one drug you can take. And it, affects how you see the world. And my fiance, Rev Resner, has sort of grown interested in it because it uses the same engine as BioShock Infinite. And he loves BioShock, and it definitely does have a BioShock feeling with graphic-wise. Which once he, really pointed out to me, I'm like, holy shit, now I can't stop seeing it. But yeah, I have no real opinions on the game. One, because I haven't played and probably won't, and two, because I haven't finished, with the story. Yeah. I might give more opinions later on. And now we come to what I've renamed Hopeful Wishes because I have fucking forgotten the actual name. Hopeful Wishes is the segment where I say some wishes, and I drink some sake, except I'm not drinking sake until cameras are back here. But anyways, you can join in one of two ways. Actually, you can join in both ways if you want to. I'm not going to stop you there. The first way is you can drink along with me. Drink your favorite alcohol, liqueur, or whatever the fuck is lying around. The second, and if you don't drink for whatever reason, tea, water, bunch of other non-alcoholic beverages. The second way you can join in is by submitting your own wish, by commenting down below, and it will be read next episode. And I'm going to double check to see if someone has submitted a wish over the course of reading, just to make double sure I don't miss out. I don't want to miss out. And if my computer would, kindly figure out what it means when I click a link, that would be really great. And nope, no one has submitted anything, so I will make up some stuff. First of all, as always, I hope everyone is in good mental and physical health, because no one needs to deal with any medical bullshit. I hope that if you're having surgery soon, that it all goes well and that you recover quickly with no complications. I also hope that all these, chaos around the house stops. That'd be fucking awesome. And I'm going to drink some of my tea. And that will be the end of this episode. And the next episode will be more Animorphs number 4, The Message, and it will air extremely shortly. Until next video, goodbye.